welcome back to Yo Asha TV. I'm Asha Laroux, and DC Studios just released the highly anticipated Superman Legacy 2025 official teaser trailer, and I'm breaking down all the Easter eggs you may have missed. This is from DC Studios and James Gunn. It opens over an icy, snowy tundra, and then we see Superman crash into the ground. This shot reminds me of the scene from Zack Snyder's 2013 hit classic, Man of Steel. There's an overshot of him laid out and clearly nerfed, and he's wheezing literally on his last lung. This shot is our first intro to the character, and in this vulnerable state, it actually humanizes him. And our first look to set the tone against the bulletproof force of justice that we have come to know, see, and expect of Superman. This instantly makes him more relatable, which has always been the underlining point of his story, his humanity. This version is supposed to be based off of the All-Star Superman comics, where Supes is just a chill guy. We cut to another scene of him dressed as Clark Kent, over the sound of him still wheezing, and I actually like the way that they dress Clark. He's given cute. His loose curly bangs give him an added boyish charm and doesn't just depend on the glasses as a disguise joke when compared to his alter ego, who has in this one, his hair is just a greased, straight slick back. He's giving me a Smallville Tom Welling vibe, and it's giving what it's supposed to give. I wasn't so sure about the acting choice for Superman at first, but I'm liking David Corenswet as Clark Kent. As the teaser continues, Clark is bustling through the city of Metropolis. There are a bunch of people walking, very New Yorker, very congested, and he's going into the building that says 44 Concord Street, Metropolis. I think this is the first thing that James has done. Well, not necessarily the first thing, because technically I feel like the better Suicide Squad and Peacemakers were the first things that we've actually gotten from James Gunn of the reboot of DC, and those have been really good, and he hasn't really missed yet, so I'm here for it. Back to the trailer. We cut back to him basically dying in the snow. He looks up, we see James Gunn's name, and Clark is back in the Daily Planet. We see Jimmy Olsen and Cat Grant, who works the gossip column and previously dated Clark in the comics. We see the iconic Wendell Pierce as Perry White. We cut back to seeing Lois Lane. She's giving very average woman. Clark is bumbling as he looks over at her. They share a glance, and then we pop over to the Kent farm, then back to Supes dying in the snow. He then whistles, and then we are introduced to Crypto plowing through the tundra. I love that Crypto is literally just the good boy little puppers, and he is just super playful, though Clark is literally on his last breath. He is fighting for his life right now, and Crypto's just like, hey, over here. Hey, where's my stick? Hey, you want to play with the ball? You want to play fetch? Let's play. And Supes tells him, take me home, because seriously. The addition of Crypto comes from the main reason that Gunn was even able to connect with the Superman character to begin with, due to him having difficulty liking the character at first. And same. We know Gunn loves animals, and he definitely knows how to pull our heartstrings, but I swear, nothing better happened to that lovable fluffy butt, because I will now lay my life down on the line for him. And that is so funny, considering when the teaser poster came out, people hated it. Like, they were literally rioting the digital streets, couldn't stand it. Damned this movie to hell before we even got any other further glimpses. And it was just the poster, guys. It was just literally just a picture of them sitting on the moon. But after seeing this trailer, how can you not have fallen in love with the adorable pup of steel, who actually made his first appearance in the Superboy comics back in 1995. James is really pulling out all the details here. What is a boy to do without his dog? And then we cut back to Superman saving a little girl, and it looks like they're at a pier. There's a bunch of what I would like to say are torpedoes, because that's what they look like to me. It also looks like it's not a ship or anything that's coming towards them, but maybe a creature that is crashing into the dock. Then we cut to a back shot of Lex and his baldy bald head turning around overlooking the city. Nicholas Hoult, who was cast as Lex after he had, ironically, auditioned for the role of Superman at first. Rightfully so, he was cast as the villain, because good villains make the movies. I truly think that he will eat this role up, and I'm really excited to see it. Though I am a little upset because I am just now finding out that we could have had something great on our hands, guys. With now knowing that he was up to audition for the role of Batman, and Matt Reeves is the Batman. But a week before his audition, he heard that the role went to Robert Pattinson on the radio, of all things. And if y'all don't know, and for my homies that do know, y'all know that I absolutely hate the casting of Rob Pattinson at Batman. I mean, it has nothing to do with like Batman, the character itself, or like the stage of the Batman era that Matt Reeves was trying to portray. I actually like having a year one Batman. Fine, I get the year one Batman. It's Robert Pattinson's portrayal of said Batman that is still worse than a stale bagel. Back to the trailer. We see LexCorp, and it's very much giving Stark Tower. We see Lex again. He looks angry as always. He's holding a gun looking like the Hitman. Maybe this is a hint that he was using that said gun to test out the steel of the man. You know what I'm saying? The man being Superman. Y'all get it? Okay, we're moving on. And then we see Soup punch through some glass. He looked like he was held captive in a glass box, probably captured to be tested on by Lex, as previously mentioned. The cage reminds me something that came out of like the cabin in the woods where they kept all the monsters in. Then we see a little boy holding a flag as a bunch of people are running in the distance, and we see explosives going off. It looks like a war zone, and we see he's holding up a makeshift flagpole and a rag that has Superman's symbol on it, waving it for dear life, and he's praying that Superman comes to save them. Then we see Clark walking through a crowd of angry people, and they're probably really upset that he's been destroying their town to no end. And, you know, people got car insurance and bills, and in this climate, in this economy, people are angry because, like, how dare you destroy my livelihood or create more of a financial burden on me, you stupid alien. And we see a man hurling what looks like a can of food at the back of his head. And did he get nerfed? Yes, he did. He got nerfed in the back of the head. And he ends up going into what looks like Stag Industries. Technically is located in Gotham, and I only know this because of Gotham Knights, so you guys correct me if Stag Industries actually has multiple locations. So maybe this is actually a little hint to Batman. We then see Hawk Girl, and we see the creature that kind of looks like a kaiju Cloverfield monster. We see the Guy Gardner Green Lantern walk in, and he uses his ring to barricade the door because of the mob that probably previously was attacking Superman. Then we cut to another scene, and we see some creature outside of the window as Clark seriously stares at Lois, who looks like she's just unfazed, and he looks very concerned, and she's just kind of like, yeah, well, this is like every day here. But she also may have just finished giving him a comforting speech. They share a kiss. We have Soups holding on to a robot, but he's dead. Then we see the Fortress of Solitude, ice crystals being formed, shot up out of the sky. We see an emaciated looking man with blue eyes. So I'm assuming that may either be Jor-El, and I don't know why they did him like that if that's the case. But my sources say that it really could also be Metamorpho, who is actually a shapeshifter who was originally a member of the Outsiders and then later joined the Justice League. And we do know that they have casted and set to credit a Metamorpho in this film, so I'm leaning more to that's who this is. And we cut back to buildings toppling over. We see an unhinged Lex who has cuts and scratches all over his face. So it seems like that man has been in a little bit of a tussle at some point. May have been cuts from the ricochet glass from when Clark bust out of that glass box. We see Clark pushing back on that, not the Cloverfield monster. And we jump back to see Krypto literally just dragging Superman through the snow by his cape. And I have to say, that's probably one of the funniest little clips that I've ever seen, because he's just like dragging my man's. He definitely ain't no Balto, that's for sure. We see somebody punching through a wall. Then Clark is in the middle of a fight, destroying what looks like a football or baseball field, holding on to what I'm theorizing is in this universe's Ultraman. Judging by the comparison of the suit that he was holding on to in this clip and these little BTS shots that we got that were leaked a little earlier, I'm assuming this is Ultraman, and Ultraman is the alternate universe Superman where all the heroes are actually villains, basically like Bizarro. We then see Mr. Terrific being Mr. Terrific with the force fields and his T-spheres. This Mr. Terrific actually first appeared in the Spectre issue 54, where Michael Hoult dedicates himself to becoming a genius with 14 PhDs in science and tech after his wife, kid, and brother are murdered. His tech company has grown to be one of the main rivals to Wayne Tech, and I think that that is another nod to Batman. We are gonna get a new Batman soon, y'all, and I smell world building. So we've only really ever seen Mr. Terrific adapted in the CW's The Arrowverse, and was a myth character that didn't have too much development or depth to him, because he really couldn't outshine Arrow, respectfully. Cutting back to the trailer, we see Superman picks up Lois kissing her as they're flying through the sky, which is a very iconic shot. So apparently, at least by the end of this, she's going to find out that Clark is Superman. Like, we're not going to keep up this facade for multiple movies. And I'm, for one, am okay with this. Like, I'm tired of that, because at this point, we all know Clark. And then we see Superman fly up into the sun, and him and Lois end up holding hands, and they share a hug as they stay out the window. I'm assuming because Superman is about to go and fight for his life to save the city and the people of Townsville. And this is dated to come out on July 11th, 2025, and I for sure will be sat in the theaters. I have to say, the color grading in this is great. To be honest, I'm actually really excited that we're getting color grading back, and it's not dark and shadowy. It's actually giving more Superman kind of comic vibe. It does give me like a Vought Studios Dawn of the Seven kind of vibes, but that's also like in a good way. I'm not actually mad at that. This actually makes me kind of want to go watch it. Was a little skeptical with everything. With all the announcements that were coming out at first, that were coming out about the casting and everything, but I do have faith in my homie James. I do have faith in him, and I think that he's going to pull out a really good one. I have to go back and look, because I feel like I felt the same way about Matt Reeves when he first announced the Batman, and then I realized the thing about Matt Reeves is that Matt Reeves is a great director. Do not get me wrong. He is a phenomenal world builder. Great director, but he is not the greatest writer. He's just not. I'm sorry. The things that he's solely directed but didn't write have been phenomenally better and much more well received than the things that he's actually written and directed. So in my mind, it's just like, he has the world building capabilities. Like, that is there. Visually, he's going to give us the ride of our lives. But I don't think that he has the attention to details and layers that comes with what we need from writing a good story and plot line and through line. That's just my opinion. But looking at it, it looks like, nope, James is also a great writer and director by his credits, and I stand by that. That is the Superman trailer. We only had 2.5 minutes of footage, so I will return when the full trailer releases. I am excited. 2025 is looking to be a very interesting year in film. So stay tuned for more. This has been another episode of
Plus.
Vought Plus.
The world's premier super streaming service.
Sign up now.
Yo, Asha TV. Peace.